Today we're going to talk about the Adidas Adizero Adios Pro 2. I love these shoes. I've always liked Nike shoes, especially the Vaporfly, the Alpha Fly. But I got these when I was in the UK in December, and must say I was pleasantly surprised. And so I'm going to take you through a review, why I like these shoes, what do I like about them, and why I think that a lot of people in South Africa, many runners in South Africa might choose to go for the Adidas as opposed to the Nike. So the jury's still out, but right now I've run quite a bit in these shoes, and I must say, very impressed. Okay, so from a product description point of view, what you'll see in these shoes, you'll see that obviously they've got this lightweight mesh upper, which is the top, basically standard with most shoes. Nike have got their own shoes, which has actually got a mesh upper as well, which is very breathable, basically standard. Very interesting to me was the fact that this mesh upper it's very breathable, it is very lightweight, allows air through very nicely, but it doesn't feel like it's got any holes in it. However, I've run in the rain, and actually the water just dispels really quickly with these shoes. And so I really love that about these shoes. They're very lightweight, and actually the upper 100% for me. Really nothing much. Obviously your standard heel collar for this type of shoe, really standard. The lacing structure, at least what I found with these shoes is that they give you enough lace, whereas I found with the Boston shoes it was quite short. So I was happy with that. Outside you've got your Continental rubber and you've got the carbon rods. Whereas with the Boston shoes, you've got the carbon composite rods. These have actually got carbon rods that actually give you a lot more stiffness and a lot more toe off with the shoe. The outsole, everybody raves about this Continental rubber. Great. Nothing to write home about really for me, but it just does what it's supposed to do. But really what these shoes are there for is for the actual midsole foam. Alright, so if you see the midsole foam, there's quite a bit of it there. And when you look at it, it's got from what I can tell, a 7.5 millimeter drop. So it's not a super aggressive toe off drop, but you definitely feel obviously there is a significant enough heel to toe drop. But the key thing for me is actually the foam. Okay, so Lightstrike Pro. The thing I found really interesting with this, and many people will tell you this, you get it out the box, you put it on, and as you're running, you feel, this feels really firm. But you need to actually just continue running in it. Take it to about 50 Ks. And then all of a sudden, it actually breaks in, and you feel the full responsiveness of the foam. And what I will say is this is not a squashy foam. It's not like ZoomX, which is quite soft and responsive and springy. This is, I would say, soft but responsive, not soft and springy. So as you put the energy into the shoe, it definitely gives you the toe off, and it gives you the energy out. I've run in ZoomX quite a bit, and so I really do like ZoomX. I like ZoomX foam. But what I'm finding with this shoe is the fact that it allows you to actually run in a natural way, but also giving you the response. And so that's what I really like about these shoes. Positives first, lightweight shoe, really good, really responsive, really does the job. I also really like the look of the shoe. It looks really good, as a racing shoe. Basically, I'm finding that from 5Ks, 10Ks, 15Ks, 21Ks, I did a 21 in these shoes, absolutely loved it. The other day I did a 30K route tester run, which is basically from Cater Ridge all the way through to Hillcrest. So going up in Changa, back down, then back up Drummond, through Boulters Hill, down Boulters Hill. I found that this shoe is really great. I would say specifically running in the Durban area where we've got lots of hills, I find these shoes are really good for hills. And lastly, mileage wise, you're able to, from what I've seen, rough estimates between 600 Ks up to about 1,200 Ks. I suspect that this will give you the top end. So this will give you closer to the 1,000 Ks, as opposed to further down the 600. So there is a range in terms of the shoe, but that's what I suspect will actually be the case with these shoes. Negatives, you know, I don't have many negatives, but I do find that a little bit unstable as opposed to other shoes. The way the geometry sits on these shoes, they're a little bit unstable, which is something that you know, I actually don't know why, because it doesn't feel like you're standing very tall in these shoes. But for some reason, there are some times where it feels a bit unstable, especially when you're starting off your run. I'm finding that a lot of people have now gone out and actually looking for the next version of the shoes. So, you know, from a price perspective, I think when they first came out, they were about 4,000 Rand, but still probably around the 3,000 Rand mark. Some people might not think that they would want to buy a shoe for 3,000 Rand, but I would also say this is a race shoe, so normally it sits in between 4,500 Rand for the latest race shoes anyways. And so I'm finding that you can pick these up on special, and so that's the case. I would say maybe a negative for some people that are used to the Vaporfly, especially with the Vaporflies coming out now, is that the Vaporfly is a lot more aggressive. This is less aggressive, so it doesn't really push you forward. But you know, when you want to pick up the pace, it gives you the ability to pick up the pace a bit more. So that's another maybe a negative for some people. And in conclusion, I would just say, yeah, I really like these shoes. Most days when I want to go out, you know, if I'm thinking, okay, which shoe would I want to take out with me, it would be these shoes, hands down. They just do everything that I wanted to do. If I want to do a 10K, it's giving me the ability to do 10Ks. If I want to go to 21Ks, it gives me the ability to go to 21Ks. I found towards the end of the 30K that I did recently, I found myself, you know, a little bit, you know, unsure, but that's just because I haven't done 30Ks in a long time. So it was just one of those, you know, on the feet, you know, feeling a little bit tight. So it could be a number of different things. And so this is my review for the Adidas Pro 2. I'm really glad I've got them. You know, a direct like-for-like comparison would be the Vaporfly 2s. And to be honest, I like both of them, but I would actually, for where I am, I would actually veer towards the Pro 2s as my shoe of choice. This is Dave. See you on the run.